I just wanted to take a moment and just elaborate a little bit on how to reach our short-term and long-term goals. And one thing that I hear a lot of times, just generally speaking, is that one of the biggest challenges with people is just getting started. You know, if they have a career that they want to get involved in, or they have dreams, or they may see it as their calling or their purpose in life, a lot of people don't really know how to get started along that path. Another thing that I see as a challenge is being consistent once they do get started. And I just wanted to share a little bit on that to kind of help those of you who are in this situation to get started and to also start being consistent in order for you to reach those short-term and long-term goals. Number one, some of the people I talk to, they have jobs. They may work part-time jobs, they may work full-time jobs, and there's never a question about them being to work on time. You know, they're always there on time, even if it's 5:30 in the morning. They're there on time. They punch out on time. They're not late, and they do this in a consistent way, and they're very disciplined about that, you know, working for somebody else. But yet when it comes to what they need to do for themselves, as far as their own business, as far as their own career, their own dreams, their own ideas, they don't use the same level of discipline and consistency. So that's the first thing that I wanted to point out. If you're able to get up every morning at 8 o'clock and punch the clock for somebody else, then you also need to express the same level of consistency and discipline with your own goals, your own ideas, your own dreams. Meaning, if you have a day off and you tell yourself, well, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do some writing for like a couple hours, you need to be disciplined about that and consistent. If you say I'm going to go to the library at 9 o'clock as soon as the doors open, you need to be there waiting when the doors open, because that's your life you're actually investing into. And like I said, you have to have the same level of consistency and discipline that you are expressing with working for everybody else. You know, sometimes with myself, I may work in the daytime for like 8 hours, but before I go to that job, I may be doing things and kind of multitasking while I'm there, and at the same time, I've already told myself after I get off, I'm going to invest a certain amount of hours into this. It may be 2 hours. I don't get distracted. I don't get sidetracked. Tell myself I'm going to do this, then I'm going to invest that same amount of time and energy into what I'm doing as a career path and as the purpose I'm serving in life. I don't slack when it comes to that, and I just have that level of discipline. What's going on, bro? I have that level of discipline, and in order to reach any of our goals, whether it's short-term or long-term, we have to be consistent and we have to be disciplined like that. And like I said, if you're working 24 hours a week for somebody else, maybe at a convenience store, maybe at a whatever you're doing, then you have to decide for yourself prior to that week starting that this is the amount of time that you are going to be disciplined enough to invest in what you say is your job, your business, as so to speak, your career, your dreams, your ideas. Because if you're not investing time into that, how do you ever expect to meet that goal? I mean, nothing's just going to happen. You have to invest in that. So anybody that you see that is successful in their undertakings, that is successful in their businesses, that have successful relationships, they invest time in that. A lot of you check out my videos, and I appreciate a lot of the support and the things that you share with me, as well as insight into things that I can improve about the things that I'm doing, not just in the videos, but also in my literature, also in the mentoring that I'm doing in the communities or the workshops that I'm doing in other places. I study this, and I invest time in what I'm doing, and you can see the results of that. So I say that to say, don't believe anything that I'm saying right now. If you really want to see results in the things that you say you want to do in your life, you have to invest in it, and you have to be disciplined and consistent about your investment, not only with your time, but also with your finances. It may mean you purchasing a book for $50, you know, because that may be a resource manual, like, you know, to help you along with the things that you say that you eventually want to do. It may mean you investing in transportation to get to a certain place to take a course or a seminar. You have to be willing willing to be able to invest in those things if you want to see yourself in a place in the future, because essentially what you define as the future or where you want to be starts right now. Where you're at right now, what you're doing right now, is a mere reflection of where you see yourself being. So it starts right now with one step. So a lot of you have a routine that you're into right now. You know, you already have the 24 hours of your day allocated to different tasks throughout your day. You have to sit down and look at your day and rearrange your priorities. And look at your daily routine and say, I'm going to invest a certain amount of time today into this. And be consistent about it. I cannot stress that enough. Consistency and discipline. So when you start doing that, whether it's a workout, whether it's writing, you want to get better in your writing skills, whether you want to get better in doing this, being better in doing that, you have to dedicate a certain amount of time and energy, as well as finances sometimes, into what it is that you say you want to do. And like I said, if you're able to punch a clock every day for somebody else, then why wouldn't you be as disciplined and consistent, and more disciplined and consistent into what you're doing for yourself, and willfully what you're doing for other people? Because whatever it is that you are investing in, that you say is your dreams, your career path, your calling in life, or what your purpose is, willfully it is that because you are serving the needs of other people, not just what you're getting, but what you're actually willing to give and what contribution you're making to civilization and society as a whole. And like I said, if you want to reach your goals, you have to be at least able to invest the same level of discipline and consistency that you're already investing in working for somebody else. And if you're not working for somebody else, that's even more reason to start setting up your own routine and schedule for you to really start putting that time and that energy into what it is that you say is your dreams, your career, your purpose and calling in life. So willfully, this was something that was inspirational and empowering to those of you who are checking this out. And like I said, if you want to get started, you already have the resources and tools to get started. You just have to be consistent and disciplined enough to say, if I'm going to do this today, I'm going to invest this time, and I'm not going to be sidetracked, or I'm not going to be distracted. If I'm going to sit here and I'm going to write, if I'm saying I'm going to work on my writing and I'm going to allocate an hour to do it, then you need to allocate an hour or more to do it. Nothing ever less. And that's why I'm saying, with the jobs that you may have already or the things that you're already invested in, you have to be willing to invest equal or more, never less. Because if you invest anything less, if you slacken, if you're saying, well, I get to it when I can or whatever, then you're never going to reach your short-term or long-term goals because you're not investing in it. So, again, willfully, this is something that will help those of you who are thinking about what you need to do to get started, and for those of you who are on this path, what you need to do to be consistent enough to get to where you say you want to be. So, peace.